is up, everybody? Let's turn this up a little bit. Uh, let's turn it up a little bit more. Okay. Last time the audio was almost non-existent, so still getting the hang of the audio mixing. What is up? Welcome back. Just exploring the sort of Titan 2 here, which is actually really cool. This coupled with our AI stuff is going to be very fun to play with. So I'm looking forward to that. But whoa. Jeez. It's a bit of a design flaw. The gun can lift up the plane. Row. Mush. 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 Anyway. Yeah, welcome back. I guess today we're going to be talking about the Titan and the subject of the Titan here. Basically, it's going to be the first free open source script that I'm going to release on GitHub, which is Titan Management. Just going to go over a few little nuances about the code, talk about how it works, and yeah, that's going to be that. So let's get rid of the new shiny Titan here, and we will bring back in the OG Titan. Let's do the regular Titan here. Let's turn off the engine. We're going to start Titan Management. Okay. So it's been a while. It's been probably a couple of months since I've made any changes to this script, but that's okay. Let's revisit this bad boy, shall we? CD. And Titan Management. And we're gonna increase, I'm using terminal, so I'm gonna increase the sort of size of the I'm gonna increase the size of the terminal font here, just so you guys can see what's going on. And just bring it up to like 20, 24. Something like that should be fine. No, it's actually 5M. Welcome, Jacobige, however you pronounce your name. I probably butchered that. I apologize. But yeah, as you can see from the map, I'll get rid of some of these excess clouds here. This is 5M actually. So there's a couple of custom maps here by a very talented map maker who wishes to remain sort of anonymous. If you are interested, though, you can leave me a bit of a comment, and I'll make sure you can meet him and see his Discord, see some of the stuff he makes. It's actually really cool. But yeah, back to the topic of sizes. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna go in and we're gonna go. Let's go client.lua. I'm going to pull up the code really quickly just so you guys can get an idea of what it looks like in its current state. As it stands, it's basically broken into 3 parts, right? And those parts are made to measure at what state the player is in. I call it the status key here, but basically it figures out if the player is inside of the Titan in the passenger or the pilot seat. It figures out if you're outside the Titan, or it also figures out if you are inside the back of the Titan. And long story short, it uses a couple of different functions to determine whether or not you're actually inside or outside, and it gives you the opportunity to do certain things depending on where you are. So I'll give you a quick example. You'll see how we're outside of the Titan, and you see this little sort of it's called a marker, but you see this sort of little indicator here. When you walk up to it, when you're actually inside the indicator, and you press a specific key, it will actually close the door from the outside, which is something you haven't never been able to do in the original GTA, right? Walk in and press the key again, and you get that same functionality. Now, when you're not beside the Titan or in the back of the hatch, you get nothing, but when you walk into the back of the hatch, you will see another marker or another indicator here. What the heck happened? Difficulties. My apologies. Sheesh. I'm gonna pause the stream really quickly. Sadly, no Fortnite at Jacob. Okay. Okay. Hopefully this is a little bit better. All right, cool. Hopefully this is a little bit more stable. I'll be monitoring it just in case anything goes wrong. But back to the point, when you're in the back of the Titan, it's able to basically use a bit of a cool little function to draw a box on the interior of the Titan. And when you're in that box, it generates this sort of marker. And same thing, you press the key and the door opens. And when you do not press the key, obviously nothing opens as well. But yeah, let's go. Okay, here we go. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Alrighty. Okay, so as I was saying, my apologies. Yeah, it's able to detect when you're inside the back of the Titan, which is a pretty cool little function. Another thing that it does is it actually disables your ragdoll while you're in the back of the vehicle, because when ragdoll is enabled, and you're standing on top of a moving car, well, you should know what happens. You basically sort of fall off the edge here. Another cool thing it does is it allows you to sit down while you're in the back of the Titan. I'll demonstrate that right now. 3, 2, 1, enter. And you'll see that when I switch to first person, I am sitting inside the Titan. It basically places you at the lowest index of the vehicle here. And when you press F again, it allows you to stand up in the back as well. Now, there are some problems. Script is not perfect, obviously. One of which is the ability to sit down, or more specifically, get up while you are inside the back of the Titan. While it's moving, sometimes some weird situations or edge cases happen when the plane's doing a crazy maneuver, like let's say flying upside down, for example, where the person who gets up from the seat basically is tossed outside of the vehicle. I don't know how to fix that. Basically, as a workaround for now, what I do is I basically force the player into a specific position anchored to the plane while it's moving, and then I release that anchor. So basically, I make sure that the player's physics somewhat matches the physics of the Titan itself. That's one thing. Another thing is can't remember what the other issue was. Yeah, I mean, I haven't finished with the functionality to open and close the hatch while you're in the plane. I mean, as of right now, I could use vMenu or some other sort of vehicle interface to just close the, I believe it's the Left rear door? Right front door? Right rear door? Trunk? Trunk. Cool. I can use this to close the trunk if I wanted to, but of course we want something a little bit more consistent with the mod, right? We'll go ahead and do a quick little flight to maybe Sandy Shores here. Of course, everyone else is asleep in the ATC, so we'll have to serve as our own bit of air traffic controller here. Alrighty. Okie dokie. Let's take off in the runway 28 direction here. This is normally where you would request permission to align with the runway and taxi and whatnot, but we're gonna just sort of skip that step. All right, we're aligned and let's do it. It's full power. Hopefully I have enough runway here. V1. And we're good. Alrighty. Let's positive rate gear up. And let's give it a nice, slow, steady right turn here. I'm actually going to make it morning, just because. Cool. And as you can see on the little indicator here, the Titan management status is status 1. If I were to really quickly cycle through my seats, which in vMenu is up at the top here. Did I miss it? There it is. You'll see my status is now 3. And it wouldn't be until I get back to the pilot seat that my status is 1. 720 right. Cool. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? Probably just going to be a continuation of the AI conversation. Maybe a little bit of planning around engine and fuel stuff as well. Maybe I'll actually visit that little island over in the distance that you cannot see from here. But yeah, that's gonna be the conversation here. So we are reducing our speed as much as we can. And let's align with the runway. Do a little landing checklist. Gear down, flaps down. Speed is near idle, but not necessarily. Okay. Let's disable the localizer here. And now we idle over the runway. Pitch back. And brake. Not bad. Alrighty. Cool. So, where did we leave off? We left off with our handy dandy banking functionality script. Basically, we learned how to make a plane turn gradually rather than turning abruptly, which is good. I'm getting whoa, getting a lot of dropped frames here. Hold on, I'm gonna pause